My name's Lieutenant Commander Annie Canali. I'm the Executive Officer of HMS Liverpool. She has spent about 7 months off the coast of Libya. About 12 months ago we were supposed to be going on a 4-month training deployment to the Mediterranean, and then February came and it became quite clear that we were going to be doing a little bit more than just training, and we ended up deploying 1 month early and returning home 3 months later, and 7 months or best off the coast of Libya. Over the course of the whole deployment we spent about 80% of our time at sea, so it was a very intense period of time, but as you will know from all the shots that you've seen in the news in the last 6 months, it was an intense, arduous, hard period for the ship's company, and they experienced live operations and the pressures and stresses that comes with that.
During operations, obviously, it's very difficult. The guys who were in defence watches, 6 hours on, 6 hours off in the ops room, very tight to try and fit something in. We normally tried and did something on our downtime where we were leaving theatre to go out for a couple of days. We'd organised barbecues, chicken racing events, competitions on the flight deck. Sport obviously was a big part of all that. Bingo, which obviously raised quite a bit of money for the RNBT, and other events like that. It was a case of trying to cram as much as we could in the time, so everybody got a bit of downtime and relaxation.
I think when you spend a lot of time at sea in an operational theatre where you are spending a lot of time in visual range of the enemy, then people need their outlets to get away from real life operations, and part of those outlets were the initiatives that we had to support our charities, both the ship's charity and the RNBT, and I think the most successful one was the bingo, one of those few outlets that you have to take your mind off operations and the shooting match that's going on ashore, and reflect on the possibility of winning £100 in the bingo.
One of the things that I wanted to do in my free time was see if I could raise a bit of money for RNBT. When I first approached the XO to ask if I could have permission to run bingo, because the ship was in defence watches, the only way it could be done was for the numbers to be drawn and then placed on daily orders. I also put some information about the RNBT on daily orders to explain exactly what the charity did. There were quite a lot of the ship's company that hadn't heard of it, so it was the ideal opportunity to spread the word. 1 and 6, 16. Well, before we sailed for the deployment, it came up at one of the mess meetings that the mess didn't actually have a charity to support. So I thought that that was a good chance for me to promote the RNBT, and it was accepted unanimously. One of the Warrant 2s that was in the mess, he had actually had support from RNBT a few years previous when his father-in-law was very, very ill. RNBT gave him support with travelling costs. So it just showed straight away that you don't actually have to be ex-service, and the kind of depth and the breadth of the work that the RNBT can do for people.
God, I'm looking forward to that run of Sean Roads.
Top of the shop, 90. Bed and break, 26. People wanted to do something that was supporting people close to them, and obviously the RNBT supports people both in the Royal Marines and the Royal Navy, so it's very much close to people's hearts.
Of course, as the Executive Officer, I would say that there was absolutely no hard sell in it whatsoever, but I'm sure the ship's company have their own views. The fact that the tickets flew off the shelves in no more than 2 days, I think was a very positive reaction towards Chief Petty Officer Mark's initiative on the bingo, but also their willingness to support the RNBT.
Sue, I'd like to thank you and all of HMS Liverpool for the money you've actually raised for the trust. We'll be able to use it handsomely, and I'd like to thank you all again.
Thank you, it's been a pleasure.
Well, I attended a presentation of the RNBT last year, and was very impressed by the work they do and what it offers, the matlow from the top to the bottom. And it's there for everybody, so it was more than a worthwhile cause, and we were very pleased to accept them as our charity.
6 and 9, 69. On its own, number 5.
Yep. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh, want 2 more? Cut.